In this video, we will be applying the stockinette for a short arm cast. First, scrunch the stockinette up and stretch it over the patient's arm. Be sure to be gentle as the patient does have a broken bone. Next, cut a hole above the thumb for the thumb to come through. Once the thumb comes through, place the arm in neutral position to prepare to apply the web roll. After you have applied the stockinette, the next step is to apply the web roll as a protective padding under the hard fiberglass that will be applied last. For a short arm cast, you will need two 2-inch rolls. Begin at the forearm by the elbow. Hold the roll away from the skin and wrap 3 times around to hold the stockinette in place. It is important to keep tension on the roll to avoid wrinkles. You will notice that as I wrap, I turn the roll to create small tears so the cotton lays flat. Be sure to avoid wrinkles in the stockinette as well, as wrinkles can lead to blisters within the cast. When you get to the thumb, tear the cotton around the thumb. It is important to have plenty of padding near the thumb to protect the skin from the rough fiberglass that will be applied on top of the cotton. Another technique is to poke a hole in the cotton and feed the thumb through so that it is covered on all sides as shown. You may then work back towards the elbow until you finish the roll. If wrinkles occur, tear them out as shown. Continue to wrap until you have finished that roll. When applying the second roll, use a similar technique. Be sure to cover any area that you missed with the first roll with at least 2 layers of cotton. It is important to have plenty of padding at both ends of the cast to protect the skin from breakdown by the rough fiberglass. It is also important to ensure that the arm stays in the neutral position for the entire time that you are wrapping. This is because when you go to apply the fiberglass, you do not want to create any undue wrinkles when trying to place the arm back into neutral. It is also important to note that you cannot pull the cotton too tight as it will rip through tension. You must keep the cotton snug so that you do not create any wrinkles. After you have finished applying the second roll of web roll, you will then move on to the fiberglass. After you have applied the web roll, the next step is to apply fiberglass. First, place the chuck across the patient and put gloves on to protect you both from the sticky, hard-to-remove fiberglass. You will need 2 2-inch rolls of fiberglass for the short arm cast. To begin, remove the fiberglass from the packaging and dip in warm water. It is important to use warm water, as cold water will cause the fiberglass to dry too quickly, and hot water will be uncomfortable for the patient because the fiberglass heats up as it dries. Begin the same way you did with the web roll, at the forearm. Wrap 3 times around. Do not pull too tightly on the fiberglass as it does not have the same give that the web roll does. Wrap distally until you reach the hand. When you reach the hand, fold the fiberglass on the palm side and hold in place. Do the same for the back side of the hand. Secure the 2 folds with 1 wrap around, proximal to the thumb. To go around the thumb, roll the fiberglass out and cut a 1-inch slit. Have the patient give you a thumbs up and bring the roll around the thumb. Make folds where necessary. Repeat this a couple times. Next, work back towards the elbow until you finish that roll. Once you have finished that roll, Fold back the stockinette. Don't be afraid to give it a little tug, as it will give extra padding to the patient. At the hand, use the stockinette to protect the thumb from the next layer of fiberglass. Dip the second roll and repeat the technique you used with the first roll. It is important that there are at least 2 layers of fiberglass at all areas of the cast. Once you finish the second roll, you will use hand soap to make the cast dry faster and to reduce its stickiness when applying the molds. Get hand soap from the sink and lather the cast up, using only your palms to press on the cast in the center of the palm and on the anterior and posterior aspects of the arm to prevent the cast from moving. The cast will take approximately 10 to 15 minutes to fully harden, so be sure the patient does not rest the cast down or put anything over the cast during that time. To remove a short arm cast, first place a chuck over the patient and put on gloves. You will need to cut along the median of the anterior and posterior sides of the cast. I have drawn lines to make this more clear. Although the cast saw uses vibratory motions and can therefore not cut soft matter such as the cotton padding or skin, it does heat up fast and should not be left close to the skin for long periods of time. Turn the cast saw on to the high setting and make quick in and out motions from end to end of the cast. Watch and listen as I remove the cast. After you finish making the cuts, use the spreader to pry open the cast. You may need to spread both sides on some casts. To do so, hold the handles apart and insert the flat portion into the cut line and squeeze the handles together. Next, using your scissors, make a small snip at the distal end of the cast. Feed the blunt end of your scissors between the padding and the stockinette and cut through the cotton. Once through the cotton, go back and lift the stockinette away from the skin and cut through it. This is to avoid harming any compromised skin or sutures that may be under the cast. Lastly, carefully remove the cast from the patient's arm.